I'm Nancy Drew. This is my center of operations, my desk. Go ahead and poke around. If you want to know the particulars of how I do what I do, take a look at the book titled How to Be a Detective. It's real helpful, especially if you're new to the mystery-solving business. And be sure to check out my scrapbook. I put memorabilia from all my past cases in there. A lot of them were pretty dangerous and at times really scary. But don't say anything about that to my dad, okay? He worries about me enough as it is. And whatever you do, read what's in the file called Case File. That'll tell you all about the mystery I'm about to try to solve. If you think you're ready to dive into that mystery, just click on the plane ticket and you'll be on your way. When Kyler Mallory called me from her home in London and asked me to be her maid of honor, I was a little reluctant. After all, I hadn't seen her since she stayed with us as an exchange student a couple of years ago. But when she told me the wedding is going to take place at an old family castle in Ireland, how could I say no? The wedding will be very small, but Kyler still needs help with all the final preparations, which means she'd like me to arrive several days early. So I'm going to fly to Dublin, rent a car, and meet Kyler at Castle Malloy. She warned me that the place is somewhat in need of repairs, whatever that means, and unfortunately by the time I get there it'll be night. But I've never been to Ireland before, and I've never even seen a real honest-to-goodness castle, let alone stayed in one. So the fact that it may be dark and run down just makes it more of an adventure. And you know me, whenever the question is who wants to go on an adventure, my answer is always, I do.
Preparation for our landing. Please make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened. Thank you.
So your plane was on time, your luggage arrived, your rental car was waiting, everything went without a hitch?
Yep, and according to Kyler's directions, I'm within 2 kilometers of Castle Malloy. Now stop worrying about me and get over to the Dunhills. What time is it there?
Around 2. The party just started. It's gonna go all day, so I've got plenty of time. Are you driving?
Yes, Ned, I'm talking on my cell phone while I'm driving, but it's okay. There's absolutely no traffic. And I think I see the gates. I gotta go. Say hi to the Dunhills for me and have fun.
Without you? Yeah, right. Take care, Nancy.
Oh, no! What was that?
Be right with you, miss.
It looks like a piece is missing. Oh, hello. I'm Nancy Drew. I'm here for the wedding.
The wedding's been called off, so go on back to where you come from.
No, wait, please. My car's in the ditch by the gate. I can't go anywhere.
Walk down the road to the inn then. Give me your keys and I'll see to your car in the morning.
I left the keys in the car. Can I at least talk to Kyler?
She's sleeping.
No, wait. I came all the way from the States.
You cannot stay here. Go to the inn, I said. Now off with you.
But I've been to the inn. They don't have any rooms. I've got to stay here. Hello? Are you there? Hello? I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to stay here tonight, okay? Uh-oh.
Deaf are you now? I told you cannot be staying here.
Joel, what are you doing? That's Nancy Drew, my maid of honor. Let her in.
Matt's disappeared? How can somebody you came all the way out here with to marry just disappear?
He hasn't disappeared for good. You have to understand, Matt's a bit of a prankster, and the wedding is still days away.
He disappeared as a prank?
He adores getting people in a tizzy. I do think he's pushing the envelope this time, but he'll show up. Mind you, it may not be till I've started down the aisle, but he'll show, saying he just wanted to make this a wedding no one shall ever forget.
Why did that man at the door tell me the wedding was off?
That was the caretaker, Donald Delaney. Not Donald, mind you. There's no D at the end, so it's pronounced Donal. That's the way you're supposed to spell it, which is to say that's the way the Irish spell it.
Proud of his heritage, huh?
Indeed. Which would be tolerable if his love for the Irish wasn't accompanied by an abiding distaste for the British. Now, he rather likes me, but that's only because he considers me to be Irish, since I'm directly related to the man who used to own this place. When it comes to my British fiancé, Donald detests him, which is why he was so quick to tell you the wedding's off. He wants it to be off. He came right out and said, if I am to be married in Castle Malloy, it simply must be to an Irishman. Said my marrying a Brit would upset the fairy people, or whatever he calls them.
You sure the wedding shouldn't at least be postponed?
I'm telling you, he'll show. You see, sometimes I hear him. You know, his voice. It's very faint and muffled, but it sounds like he's calling to me, saying things I can't quite make out, teasing me, the lout. So I know he's somewhere close by. He'll be here for the wedding. I'd stake my life on it. Of course, I remember well your penchant for solving mysteries, so if you want to give this one a go, by all means do. You could start in the nursery. It's down the hall. That's where Matt had set up his cot and was spending most of his time. Find him, Nancy. Having my maid of honor ruin this silly vanishing trick of his would teach him a lesson he sorely needs.
Someone ran out in front of my car on my way here and caused me to drive into a ditch.
Are you all right?
Me, I'm fine. My car and my cell phone, not so good. And I'm pretty sure whomever I saw dropped this. Looks like some kind of homemade doll.
The clothes. It looks like Matt. And that's his ring. What did the person who dropped this look like?
I didn't really get a good look. It was dark and I was distracted and it moved so fast. Frankly, I'm not even sure if what I saw was a person.
Denal, the caretaker. When we realized Matt was gone, straight away Denal claimed Matt had been kidnapped by fairies, which is of course utterly ridiculous. It was probably Matt himself you saw, tricked out in some costume and leaving that doll behind just to confound us. Well, I do hope he's enjoying himself, because as soon as we're married, that will be that. No more practical jokes. Ever.
Does it bother you to be here all by yourself?
Actually, Matt's best friend Kit Foley is here too. He set up a cot in the Great Hall downstairs.
When did he arrive?
We all came out together.
When you said you sometimes hear Matt, where are you when that happens? In here?
In here, in the nursery, sometimes outside. His voice is always very muffled and very, very faint, so I can never tell where it's coming from or what he's saying. But it's Matt, I'm sure of it.
And you've looked all over for him?
When it became apparent he was missing, we searched everywhere for hours. We were afraid he'd gone wading and drowned or something, or wandered into the bog, or gotten lost out on the moor. But we found no footprints, no clothes lying around, nothing. So when I heard his voice, it dawned on me he was playing one of his outlandish pranks. I was furious with him, but truth be told, it was also a bit of a relief.
Where does Mr. Delaney live?
All I know is he comes at dawn and leaves at sunset. I can't fathom what he does all day, but he always seems to be puttering away at something. When he's not working, he spends most of his time down the road at the Screaming Banshee Inn.
Who pays him?
My grandfather's estate. Apparently, Grandpapa considered Denal to be as much a part of Castle Malloy as those mouldy old tapestries you see everywhere. I should let him go. All he ever talks about are banshees and fairies and leprechauns, and he can be quite obstinate, as you saw at the door. But if Grandpapa saw fit to put up with him all those years, I suppose I can too.
What are you doing in here, if you don't mind my asking?
Reading. About myself, in a way. You see, until my grandpapa died and left me this place, not only did I have no idea that this castle existed, but I had no idea my real name was not Mallory, but Malloy. Apparently, Grandpapa changed his name 50 years ago, so no one would find out he was Irish.
Why didn't he want people to find out he was Irish?
I think it had something to do with his brother, Brendan, the man who owned this place and was living here when it exploded during World War II. He was rumored to have been a double agent, supposedly doing top-secret research for the Allies, but in truth passing his findings on to the Axis. Not exactly a brother you want people to know about.
If the rumors were true.
Anyway, ever since I found out I'm a Malloy, I can't stop reading about Ireland. So many different people have populated this country at one time or another. The Celts, the Druids, the Gaels. It's all quite fascinating.
All these books were Brendan's?
I can't be certain, but I assume so. He was quite the inventor, I do know that. Everything that remains in this place seems as if it's been tinkered with. Even his daughter's dollhouse, of all things.
I'd better get to work.
The 5 months I spent living with you, your dad, and Hannah. And Togo, of course. That was a very happy time for me, Nancy. I can't tell you how thrilled I am you're here.
I get to see you again, and I get to see Ireland? I'm the one who's thrilled, believe me. Let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. I'm your maid of honor, remember?
I haven't forgotten.